Hello, hello, hello. Hello, good evening, guys. As you know, my name is Franz Ponin. C'est un plaisir pour me venir là, dans Oula restaurant. So, ça fait plus que 2 semaines, 3 semaines même, je monte descendre là, faire des background views. Je venir là on Tuesday live, Island live. Je été fait live dans TikTok et nous t'es moi. Et merci le fait que je participé. Actuellement, Jean que me dit non, Tuesday, I told you guys I was going to have a tete-a-tete, a sit down with the owner, Naj. I had the pleasure to sit down with Naj a couple weeks ago, and then she inspired me to take my entrepreneurial skill at a different level. Because what I see she done here, definitely as Haitian, I am very proud of that sister. So without any further ado, let me present to you Naj.
Hello,
Naj?
everyone.
Hi,
How are
everyone.
you?
Okay. Naj, thank you for letting me come here and have a sit down with you.
Thank you.
As I said, I have several questions for you. And then we want people who are watching us to know exactly what's going on with Oula Restaurant. I have been not promoting because I cannot say promoting. I was so happy, and then every time I come here, I have to take my camera out and show people what I'm enjoying it here. So, Naj, before I start, I know Naj is Asian, and we are not going to be doing this interview solely in English. We're going to be mixing it, right, Naj?
Okay, yep, absolutely.
Whatever makes you feel comfortable, that's what it is.
Okay.
Okay? So, as un Haïtien, créole parle, créole comprendre, Naj, je connais comment que je suis content as a sister who make this happen. So, first of all, Naj, my questions to you, what inspired you to start Oula, and why this particular site, Carteret, New Jersey?
So, so my background is in real estate.
Okay.
I travaille a full-time job in telecommunication company, Verizon.
Okay.
I'm a facility technician. C'est moi qui ouais mountain ou kon ouais go truck yo et moi conduire yo moi faire installation during the day. So it's something fait la
So,
journée.
you use your hand.
Yes.
So you are a technician.
I'm a technician, facility technician for fiber optic. Yep. It's something fait la journée.
Wow.
Yep. I'm getting 25 ans dans Verizon. J'ai fait petit monde depuis l'âge de 19 ans, j'ai 2 petites, right? Single mother, struggling mother. So I was always driven for like the entrepreneurship. J'ai toujours besoin d'un business plan. And then also c'est moi qui take care petit frère moi, because my mom était toujours à travail. So travail a 9 to 5 was never just okay for me, because they were mom levé toujours la travail dans factory, travail dur. So j'ai toujours besoin be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So let commencé à travailler dans Verizon, and then a couple years later, I still wanted more. I became a real estate agent.
Okay.
From that, I started doing real estate investing. I was
While you're
buying
still
properties.
working
Still
for
working
Verizon.
at Verizon.
You're still working at Verizon
Yes.
now? Okay.
So while working at Verizon, still working, because I was a single parent, struggling.
Okay.
So then the opportunity for the restaurant came about maybe about 3 years ago. The space was available. Someone called me and was like, hey, you said you wanted to do a restaurant. And it was just something that I was just thinking of. I wanted to find on Lot Avenue to make money.
Okay.
For me, it was more, okay, bon, chercher un job pour me faire l'argent. Je toujours chercher un job pour me faire l'argent. Vous comprenez? So opportunity à venir, space était available in Carteret avec un liquor license. Tout le monde dit, là, un liquor license, c'est là l'argent.
Okay.
So that's que space était available avec liquor license. And I was like, okay, but jump on it. So ça fait me choisir Carteret, again, space était available. Living avec un liquor license. So I'm just pour opportunity.
But while I was curious because I saw you on Facebook. Duke, your co-partner, told me about it, and I went online and I checked you on Facebook. But I saw this particular corner that you are at. You start from scratch.
Yeah, pas de gagner là.
I
C'est
see
just
that
wash.
you're building even the nail and everything.
Yeah. Pas de gagner. It was just, so building sa, le yo te build building, gen 65 appartement là. Le yo te build li, mais yon te vlon restaurant nan area sa. Chaque building ki going on li vlon restaurant because li pat vle moun kite town nan pou al manje l'autre côté, li vle moun rete nan town nan. Gan pile development that's going on in Carteret. So, place an deke jan design pou an restaurant, but
okay.
Pat ganyen la, it just wash ki te ate, cement wall, nothing.
Okay. So, basically, I don't know if you want to go over numbers because I am a financial guy and this is what my show is all about. When I was talking to you, you mentioned that you spent around like $3.5 million to build from scratch. So, am I hear something different about that number, or that number is exaggerated?
Oh, no, it's not exaggerated at all.
You're talking about $3.5 million US dollar?
Absolutely, US
not Haitian dollar. The US dollar you're talking about?
American dollar, yep.
Okay, so can you break it down for me? Where the bulk of that investment went in form of construction for the kitchen, because I went and I saw your kitchen, and design, licenses, and then staffing.
Yep.
So you have the floor.
So just to even, so the 3.5 million includes, of course, just the process of the leasing, right? You need the down payment for the lease, the security. You need attorneys, right? When you're dealing avec commercial space, attorney a coûté presque dans $10,000, $15,000.
I got you.
Because love for a transaction consult want to make sure ou pas prendre n'importe avocat. Just because un avocat ka fait real estate, li ka fait construction, ou make sure ou pour un avocat qui specialize dans restaurant. Pas vrai? So avocat, then because mbad go can experience na business law, they will get a business consultant.
Okay.
That was very expensive, right? But it was worth it because they educate when people are not familiar because background when say real estate. Then you have the architect. Something like this is 3,200 square feet, building from scratch.
That's big.
Right. The architect alone, and you need a engineer, right? So just on architectural drawings and the engineer, right, that was about over $100,000, right? Then the actual build out, which is the construction. There's one lot from contractors, but mistake mbad vle fe, mistake mde kon fe no real estate. No real estate mde kon pran moun ki te peachy.
Yeah. You look for the cost, but not the quality.
Exactly.
And you end up spending more.
Exactly. So here, I did not want to do that, right? Because again, I was new to this. I didn't want to mess up. So what I did was I hired a company that was specialized only in restaurants.
So they know what they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing.
I can see that. With the details. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Then, I hired, besides an architect,
you need a designer too.
Because most architects are not designers, right?
Oh, that means you have to get a separate designer.
Yeah, I got a designer.
To work with the architect.
Okay. Exactly.
So most of the design that I see here, it is not yours solely.
Oh no, mbagin gift sa son gift.
So where your touch come from? Because basically you have to have some personal touch into this.
I did the writing of the checks. I trusted my designer to bring this to life, right? What I got experienced in was I was experienced in finding experts. By expert na tout bagay. I'm just konem gon vision, and I hire the people to bring it to life for me. Right? Yep, that was my thing.
So the mask that I see at the entrance.
That's another person we hired to come in later on.
That person came with that idea, or that was your idea?
No.
Everything that is here, it is not truly your idea.
It's not my idea. I'm just hire Muna.
And then you sign the check.
I'm sign the check. That's all I do.
Okay. All right. Now, do you have an in-house accountant? Do you work with an outside firm to manage cash flow and compliance?
Definitely.
Because as you have a restaurant, you have to be compliant.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have an outside accountant that hired that is also in the restaurant field.
Okay.
Right. So I try to hire people that is already familiar with what it is that I'm doing.
All these are still part of the 3.5 million.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going
3.5.
3.5. Wow, that's a lot.
Well, you know, the build out alone was about 1.2 million just to build
To
it.
build it.
That didn't include the equipment in the kitchen. That didn't include the bar, the millwork, right? That didn't include furniture. Like, these things add up quickly.
I know it costs. Yeah.
Quickly.
I see. Will I have a chance to visit your kitchen?
Of course.
Okay,
definitely.
okay. While we're doing it, okay,
Okay.
let's move on here. Now, what strategy do you use to control food costs and minimize waste, especially with global fusion ingredient that might be more expensive or when you import it? Because you know you have some Haitian touch and global fusion. I know spice things will cost you more. So how do you manage that?
So for me, as far as the back of the house, that's Duke. Duke handled the food cost and, you know, managing all that stuff. What we did was we incorporated a system, because right now, you know, with technology, there's a system called Margin Edge. As soon as you get delivery or you get receipt, we scan the receipt and they track everything for you.
Okay.
But you know, when you first open, you're gonna have a lot of losses, right? Until everything just becomes more comfortable with your staff and everything. So it's kind of difficult in the beginning to really control those things, right? But when it comes to the back of the house, that's Duke's responsibility. He handles that. He's the expert.
Basically, what are some of the biggest fixed monthly costs you have to stay on top?
Payroll. Payroll is one
Your
of my
staff
biggest.
is how many staff members?
I have about 30.
30. Not including you and Duke.
No, it does. That's combined.
That's
The
20
front of the
combined.
house and the back of the house. Yep. Bartenders, cook. You have dishwasher, servers, hostess. You know, it adds up. It adds up.
Do you pay yourself?
I do not. I have not.
So you have
gotten
not gotten any paycheck yet. What about Duke?
Yes.
Okay. Now my questions to you is that I was dying to ask you that question. I said that I'm going to ask you. I came here several times. I hang out with you guys and I saw the service is top notch.
Thank you.
But what I noticed is that most of your staff are not Asian. Why is that?
Nobody in Haitian community apply. We don't have Haitian people that came to apply.
It wasn't a strategy of yours.
No. My thing wasn't even to hide. So this restaurant, even though myself and Duke is Haitian, it's not so much a Haitian restaurant, because what we found was and I did a lot of research.
Okay.
Right? What we found is most people do not even know what Haitian food is.
Okay.
Most people, if you ask them, hey, we did a survey. We're like, hey, if you and your partner wanted to go out tonight, would you choose a Haitian restaurant? And a lot of people said no, because they don't know what that is, because we don't have this. Right? We have mom and pop, which l'entrée là-dedans, you're very rude. They're not welcoming.
That's true.
You know? So when I posted that I was hiring, we didn't get a lot of Haitian people that wanted to apply. So we weren't looking to just hire white, black, or Haitian, right? We were looking to hire people that wanted to build with us.
Okay.
Right? And that was going to be able to provide our customers the best service.
The best service. Okay. So it was not something that you did in purpose.
No,
it
no,
was
no.
like people didn't want. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I spoke with your general manager,
Yes, she's great.
and I asked her a question, and I said that was she she was friend of yours?
No, I met her. Someone introduced me to her.
Okay.
Yeah, someone
And then
introduced me to her.
And now so far, are you happy with your hiring process?
Yes, I'm definitely hot. I'm happy with the staff that we have currently. I am. We had to weed out a couple people in the beginning, but that's normal.
Now, before I move on, you are truly lucky to be teamed up with Duke.
Yes,
How
Duke is amazing.
How is that happen?
So you know
What made you choose Duke?
So Duke chose me, I should say.
Oh, Duke
right?
chose you.
Right.
Okay.
So, you know, I've been going to Duke restaurant for like probably the last 7 years. Another partner of ours introduced me to his food.
Okay.
And I've been stuck ever since. Like, the man is so talented. His
I know,
food
I
is
know.
so good. And his food, because he brings out the Haitian cuisine in his food, but just a more modernized way, I've always loved his food, and it still reminded me of home.
Yeah.
Because like I said, going to a Haitian restaurant, you don't feel welcome. When I went to Duke Place, it's like they know me there,
Yeah.
right? And that's what people want.
Yes.
So when the opportunity came about, I was just like, hey, Duke, listen, this is an opportunity that came about. I think this is the first time for us to come together, collaborate, and build something great for our people, for us, right? For our family, because we don't have this.
I can attest to that, because one time I went to Duke and then I said, Duke, I would love to eat some maï moulin avec un so. He wasn't in the menu. There's no problem. And he went in there.
Yeah, he did it.
And then before
He's
you know
very
it, Duke
humble.
made it. And I was so happy.
And it was good.
And this is why I told my family, if you guys ever want to take me out to eat, just take me to Duke. And now Oula.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Because guys, I'm going to come and support you as much as I can.
Thank
All
you.
right. Now, do you operate on a profit sharing model with your coworkers, your co-owners, or staff incentive to help drive performance?
So that is the goal, right, for our staff. Because I work a 9 to 5, money is what motivates people.
Okay.
So because we just opened in 2 months and a half, but the goal is once we are profitable, right, once we've paid down our debt, that is the goal for me. Like, we have a number in mind, right? Once we exceed that number, we definitely plan on sharing it with our staff.
Okay, so your staff will be part. So do you plan to open like a franchise?
Mes
Oula?
amis, back up us that forehead petit. Problem ki sou dom la.
That's good problem though.
Good problem?
We can call it good problem. There are what we call bad debt and good debt.
Yeah.
And then I can consider this as a good debt.
Yeah.
And I remember when we sat down and then I told you how proud that I am of you.
Thank you.
And I told you that by seeing you taking such a big leap, because when you said a Haitian person, you spent $3.5 million to open this, at first I might say to myself, are you kidding me? But when I sit down and realize it, and then I went in there, went to your kitchen and everything,
It adds up.
and I say, well, it adds up. And specifically, if you want professionals,
If you want good quality stuff,
quality.
everything in there is good quality.
I can see that.
You know.
The furnitures and everything. All right, that's very good. So far, so